WSTU, it is 9:05, and that means it is time for the forum with your host, Pat Sacco.
Thank you, Mike.
Morning, Pat.
Here we are, tail end of April.
That's it, yeah.
My goodness.
Last Thursday of April.
Did you get your taxes in on time?
Oh, oops. No, yes, I did. I got them
Okay.
paid.
Okay. Well, I have one deadline coming up in May because I already did the income tax thing. It's a simple form that I have to fill out. If you earn less than $50,000 in your charity, all you do is fill out a one-page thing. The state requires you to register it under sunbiz.org.
Yep.
As a registered company.
Oh, you have to pay them their ransom too?
That's only like $75, $80.
Oh, that's not bad.
But the deadline of that is the end of May. So I still have a month.
A little more time.
A little more time, yeah.
That's good.
And then they threaten to fine you, but they never do that.
What about the city and county ransoms?
No, we don't pay those.
Oh, you don't pay those?
No,
That's
no,
nice.
No. They, you have to be careful with charities. Charities don't have very much money. And, somebody says, oh, so it's only $300 or $400. Well, excuse me.
Hey, don't say that after the Great Give yesterday.
The Great Give. It's a neat program.
Did you see the total numbers they pulled in?
No.
It was over $1.3 million for charities in Martin and Palm Beach County
Oh, my God.
in 24 hours.
Well, it's smart to do it that way, to get everybody charged up and get the money and get it out of the way rather than nickel and dime it all year long.
Mm-hmm.
You take a person who's a super banker and they go to businesses and tries to raise money for an agency. And that's not exactly what you got trained for. That's not your skill. But you're going to be out there, instead of doing the neat things you want to do, you're asking people to donate money. They do that with social workers. Send them to the doctor's offices. The doctors don't need social services, but they have money.
And that's the key.
That's the key. Wow, that's great. The Treasure Coast is unique. I'm glad you're moving up here. You're going to find out how unique it really is up here. We're different. We're different than Miami. We're different than West Palm Beach. Like the senior networking.
Yeah.
They had asked me 4 or 5 years ago to go down and start a group in West Palm.
Mhm.
I said, are you out of your mind? I said, those people don't like each other. You find
Depends on the day, right?
Yeah. The competition is just that fierce. Here, there's competition, but it isn't cutthroat.
Yeah.
People are still friends.
I hear you.
Even then opposite. You meet a couple bankers up here, you're going to be nice people. Typically they're not I'm going to get the contract and you're not kind of thing. So you work for Bankers Life,
Mhm.
and you're a field.
Well, currently I'm a unit sales manager. Just got recently promoted. We're actually opening up an office here shortly in Port St. Lucie, moving from Broward.
And you're going to be the man.
I'm going to be the man, I guess. Yeah.
How'd you get here? Where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from El Salvador. Came here in the early 90s. My mom left El Salvador in the early 80s because of the war and turmoil. Left me with grandma from about an infant, 6 months old, all the way to 7 years old. Grandma was mom for me for a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
Yeah, and then when my mom got established here, actually in South Florida, in Margate, then brought me over. Got an opportunity to meet my sisters. One of them was born in Tennessee. The other one was born here in South Florida. And then kind of my life started. Went to school from grade all the way up, and never looked back.
And excelled.
Thankfully, yeah. With the Lord's graces, been able to be gifted and been able to put in hard work.
And you went to UCF, University of Central Florida?
No, actually, I didn't. Actually, one of my best friends went to UCF.
Oh, I thought you did.
I was down in Broward College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I stayed local. Cost of colleges can be a little bit much, so try to get as affordable as possible.
Well, when I was teaching, we'd have people come and look at the college and everything, and the families would say to me, well, we're going to have my money. I said, get an associate degree. Then transfer to a 4-year institution. So you can walk away with no debt after 2 years if you go locally.
Yeah, save a lot of money.
So
that
that's
way,
$20,000, $30,000 less to take.
Definitely.
And some of us who had 3 college loans paid them off. And it took a long time to pay them off, but they got paid.
Yeah. Got friends right now with college loans. I got friends that went to FSU, UF, those kind of things, still paying off those college loans. I got actually a friend that graduated from NSU, Southeastern University.
Mhm.
She's a lawyer. Nice hefty loan after the fact.
Of course,
but,
right.
But that's kind of part of how it's set up this way right now.
Well, what about medical school?
Yeah,
You
medical
know, I mean,
even more,
hundreds
right?
of thousands of dollars. But you're going to be making that kind. I think what you need to do, and these counselors for colleges need to look at the person. Now, what do you want to be? I want to be a teacher. Okay, well, now, what's the typical salary you're going to earn? Now, if you had to pay $50,000 in loans, this is what it would cost you. So this is what you'd have left. But if you're going to be a pharmacist, if you're going to be a physician, if you're going to be an attorney, it's going to be expensive, but you're going to get a salary commensurate with that degree and maybe be able to pay your loans.
Yeah.
You don't, I'm going to say something bad. I'm probably going to get flack for this one, but I don't care because I'm old enough. Kid goes to college, doesn't know what he wants to do. They major in fine arts or in bachelor's in psychology. I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
They need to learn a phrase when they graduate from college. And the phrase is, would you like a pickle with that?
That's true.
Because what kind of job? My poor son turned 16. He got a job at a Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
And the first day he came home, he was all upset. I said, what? He said, your dad, he said, you know what they had me do? I said, what? He said, they had me picking up cigarette butts out in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me ask you a question. What kind of talents and skills do you have that you could do something more than pick up butts? No, I don't have any. I said, that's the problem. They're giving you a job commensurate with your training.
Yeah.
He ended up being a manager of a pizza place and da-da-da. He's now working for the government in the Consumer Financial Protection Agency. I mean, he's blossomed out all these things from picking up butts.
Yeah.
And I said, if you want to get better in life, you have to learn a skill of some kind of thing that they will pay you for what you're worth.
Yeah. It's interesting you brought that up. Actually, I was listening to a conversation. I don't know if you ever listened to Jim Rohn.
Yes.
Great guy. I mean, I was listening to him. He's like, things don't change just because. You have to get better. You have to make a change in order for things to get better.
And what do we know about change? We don't like it.
You don't like it. Nobody likes change. Everybody wants to either want to battle it as much as possible to make a change. But if you want to get things to get working, you got to get better. You got to learn a better skill set, so on and so forth. I mean, that's kind of the philosophy I've always followed. I mean, I grew up in the banking world, and to the point where I just said I had enough. I went up from a teller position all the way to the last position. I was a loan officer. But I got to the point where, the bank's asking me, open up another checking account for Mrs. Johnson. I'm like, well, she already has 2 checking accounts. Why does she need a third checking account? So if she doesn't meet the minimum balances, you charge her a fee?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Well, it's 3 fees better than 2 fees.
Unfortunately, right? Yeah, that's how it works. So I said, you know what? It's time to leave that. I left. I took 2 months vacation, if you will. I was hanging out with my daughter. She was not even 2 at that time. And that's when I got the call from bankers. I had a resume out there on Career Builder and Monsters and so on and so forth. And I was like, okay, let me see what you guys got. See what's going on. And they kind of told me about the opportunity in the career where I'd be helping folks in the senior market, help them plan for their retirement, their Medicare, their home health care, things that are important to them, how they cover their bills, their medications, and everything else like that. I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot.
And here you are today.
Still here. Yeah.
Seniors, and I'm gonna insult myself as well as all the other ones because I'm a senior.
Go ahead.
Way up there.
Yeah.
And I say the older you get, the more you suffer from what I call hardening of the categories.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to use a computer. I don't want to know about a computer. I'm going to have a flip phone. I don't want a regular iPad. I don't want, I get to a point where I'm just going to protect myself from all these other things that are out there because I'm scared to death.
I understand.
I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. I just want to get by my life kind of thing. Well, what they don't realize, and I do it in a fun way. I'm not picking on people particularly. I guess I am. But what they don't realize, it makes your life so much better. For instance, if I have a rotary phone at home.
Still got one of those, huh?
No, I said if. No, I don't have one.
Yeah, okay.
I got rid of my landline a long time ago. I'm fighting against this hardening of the categories.
Yeah.
I have a cell phone. I have an iPhone. I have a Kindle. And I text a lot. If I want to talk to somebody, I can immediately text them, whether they're on the air or not, or whether they're going to answer their phone or not. I get responses back. Yeah. We can communicate so much easier and faster and better. And my computer is my Encyclopedia Britannica. I mean, my phone.
Yeah.
If I want to
everything,
know
right?
who was in that movie, I just say Siri, boom, 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 and the answers come up.
Yeah.
I get instant feedback.
It's the gratification, right?
As long as I don't spend too much time with all these technical geniuses, because people get obsessed.
Yeah, you're spending too much time on the tube there. It's definitely gonna be a long waste of time. I got 2 kids, so I know my kids got their designated time for their iPad.
Thank you. You limit.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, my 2-year-old, if he stays longer than an hour, then it's his capacity brain cells kind of go to like, yeah, I need to be there on longer. So you gotta
When you
limit
get
it.
when they get to TV in their bedroom,
Mhm.
if they're being punished, you take the cord away.
Yeah, no, there's no TVs in the room.
Okay.
There's no TVs in their room. The TVs are in the living room and the common areas, and
Beautiful.
and the iPads and stuff like that have a time limit. So once they get to that time limit, all right, that's it. Go do something else.
Wow,
Use your
you're a good
imagination.
dad.
We try. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be raised by a single mom that was very, very strong and very willful in that. I mean, she worked many jobs to raise myself and my 2 sisters, 3 kids, so on her own. So
Okay.
I picked up some of that stuff.
That's good.
So-
That's good. And you pass that along too.
Yeah, try to pass it as much as possible. I mean, obviously some things kind of change with the ease of technology, but you try to pass as much as you can.
I have a friend whose daughter's close to 13 right now. And she came home one day and said, Mom, Janie's going to have a sleepover and I want to go. And the mother said, no, you'll have it here, not at Janie's house. If you want to be with your friends, you come to our house and have the sleepover. I'm not going to let you go to anybody else's house. You know what the daughter said? Okay. She didn't say, but Mom, I mean, yeah. Okay. So she invited all her friends to come to their house.
Well, you got the what is it? Two mutually agreeable options, right? Either A, you go to Janie's house, or B, you stay here. And as long as she got the sleepover, she was okay
Right.
with it.
Right. Well, my mother I say, I want to go. No, you can't go. But everybody's going. She said, no, not everybody's going because you're not going. And you're part of everybody. That's damn.
Well, that's actually the conversation I was having with my wife. We're actually, since we're in the midst of this move here to Port St. Lucie, Martin County area, pool, no pool. And my argument to her was, you want the pool because as the kids get older, whose house do they want to go to? The house with the no pool or the house with the pool?
With the pool.
So you want to have the pool to have the kids come over. At least that way you know where they're at. I mean, you don't want to be keeping an eye on them every single
So
second.
you're getting the pool.
We're gonna get the pool.
Okay.
We're gonna
very
get
good.
the pool.
Very good.
Have to get the pool. So that way, at least they get into the teenage years, and you try to you influence them as much as possible because the biggest influence after you is going to be their friends, right?
Exactly.
So you want to make sure they're hanging out with the right friends.
And children are vessels. They're empty vessels. They need to be filled. And either the family fills them or the street fills them.
Yeah, 100%.
You set your limits and you set your conditions. But dad, but mom, no buts. You forget I was one.
Yeah, we did it already,
Yeah,
right?
but-
And you did more than I have already,
That's
so I
right.
know.
And I made a lot of mistakes. I'm trying to ward off some of those mistakes with you.
Definitely.
I come from an Italian family.
Mhm.
Okay. And it's the same kind of thing. We are family.
Mhm.
We have family values. We take care of our family.
Definitely.
And we sit down at the table together and eat. Okay. Sometimes, as the kids are growing up now, they're involved in gym and they're involved with extracurricular activities. And sometimes you can't get together for a dinner.
Yeah.
But maybe a Sunday dinner is a Sunday dinner, period. We're going to sit down together as a group. No electronic devices.
Yeah.
No texting at the table. Right.
Or put it in a basket, right? Put
Yeah,
it
right.
somewhere that it can't be reached.
That'd be cute. Just bring the basket out
Yeah,
at a
so
meal.
everybody, get your cell phones, put it in here. All right, got an
We'll get
hour. Let's
After
hang out.
dessert, you can have it back again.
Yeah, those are great values to have and put in place. This is designated family time, and that's one of the best things that I love about my job is I love helping my clients with whatever they're going through, but the biggest thing is making sure that I can have access to my family as much as I can. If I want to go on a vacation, I can do that. If I want to hang out with my family on Sunday, that's family. That's time that
Perfect,
I can put in there. So
And believe me, those memories will last those kids forever. Gee, on Sundays we used to do this, or we took that trip, or we would, then they were positive and it was fun. And now you have 2 daughters.
no, a boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl.
My daughter is 6 and my son's 2. So my daughter,
okay.
totally different than my son. Daughter, first time she fell off the couch and hit her head, learned, never did it again. My son will go back up to the couch, jump from the couch, and wants to hit that again. And I'm like, and then cries. And I'm like, are you gonna learn this decade or next decade? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Hopefully no concussions
See, it
come out of
happened
it.
again.
Yeah. He's like, I get home, I'm like, I find another bruise. I'm like, did you scratch yourself? What happened? He's like, yeah, boo-boo. And I'm like, well, when are you gonna learn? It's like, but that's life. Boys and girls are gonna be different. So
They're quite different.
so you gotta like you were talking about skills. I can't use the same skill set to raise my daughter as I do my son. Gotta figure out a different way. What works, what doesn't work.
Because
You
you're
know?
trying all the things that work for your daughter, and they don't work for him.
No, he doesn't listen.
He's
No.
from another planet.
Yeah. What's that saying? What women are from Venus and men are from Mars.
Yes.
Well,
That's crazy.
can't be more true than that.
Yeah, I read a study one time, and my wife gets mad at me when I do it. And she's listening this morning. Hi, hon. I found this thing about words people utter. That women, typical day, utter 20,000 words.
Really?
Men, 8,000.
Huh.
Because men don't talk as much as women do.
That is
Men
true.
get to the gut, couple sentences, they're done. Women want to, embellish and chat a while. So when she would come home from work, and I didn't retire, I just stopped getting paid. She'd come home from her job, and we would sit down, and she would tell me all about her day. And she would tell me about her day, and she would tell me about her day. And I'd say, well, remember now, you just used half your words today. And she got mad.
So there's a stop loss.
And she said, how was your day? I said, it was fine. That was it.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Oh, a couple of things. I don't embellish. Yes, I guess I do, but it's nice to sit down and chat because it's hard to do that with a wife when you have children.
Oh yeah. The kids want to come first, and sometimes depending on what they're feeling, are you going to get all the information, or are you just going to get one of the things that my boss have taught me is how to talk to your kids and the questions to ask, especially as they get to teenagers and so on and so forth. Because you ask them, "How's your day?" "Oh, fine." "Or what you do?" "It was good."
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
But you can create a monster. I created a monster. My son was very verbal.
Yeah.
But I pick him up from after school. How was school? Fine. What'd you do? Nothing. Just played. I stopped the car one day and I said, okay, from now on, when I ask you that question, because I want to know what's happening, I want you to tell me what happened from the time your foot got off the school bus till the time it got on the school bus. I created a monster. How was your day? Well, I was late. And I got my backpack and I couldn't find my pencil. And, and the bus was out there and I had a herd running. And I finally grabbed the bus before it took off and went in. My locker stuck and I couldn't get my locker open. And then I ran into the room and there was a test. And I went to put my name down and my pencil broke. I said, can we move on a little bit?
Well, you asked for a catalog of everything.
Oh, Christ, can we move on a little bit? Cut back a little bit on the discussion. Because I taught him that. You tell me everything that's happening.
Yeah, you told him to catalog everything, so that's what you get.
By the time the lead broke in the pencil, I'm lost. I'm going from there.
So my best practice, and this is I got from my boss Tony, is one quick key question: what was your favorite part of the day? To kind of get the conversation going, and at least get that going, and then maybe ask a couple other things.
Very nice. Very nice.
I don't get the whole entire day, but I get the most exciting part of the day.
Start the positive first.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Because people are prone to tell you the negatives.
Oh yeah, always the negative comes up. I mean, that's stuff that I use with my agents. I'm fortunate enough to, I'm a unit sales manager, like I said earlier. So I have a team of agents that report to me, and as my coaching tools that I use for them, whether it be with themselves or with their clients, I always ask them, what did you do well first, and what can we improve second? But they always want to start with, what can I improve the negative? I'm like, no, what did you do well first?
A lot of people grope with that because they're not prepared to talk about something positive, and they got to dig what happened, and when you begin to train them for that, then they begin to keep those thoughts, and that's the first thing they're going to throw at you. But it changes them.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very influenced by everybody else.
Yeah.
There's that. We want to be the stasis. We want to have everything the same, but it isn't the same because people influence your life. like you go to a restaurant and you're talking to the wife of the owner and you find out she, lived 30, 40 miles from you up north.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute.
You never know. Never know.
Just, we have so many connections, like you just did with Mike.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, Mike dated my best friend.
Mike.
Yeah, and you walked into the door and we looked at each other and we're like, we know each other.
Yeah.
How in the world do we know each other?
Yeah, and then I was like, it's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother you until we figure it out.
Mhm.
And then and they started doing it. And then as soon as it said UCF, I'm like, boom.
Bam,
Yep.
It's
see?
like
What was
that's
that, 15 years ago now?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a little insane.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, yeah, and you were 6 at the time.
I
You
was
were
6 years old. I was definitely 6 years old.
Now
I was
you can-
Doogie Howser.
Now,
Dude.
now you can vote.
He was having fun. It was the song go young, dumb, and broke. One of
Yeah,
those.
exactly. Yep.
The high school kids, but it wasn't. It was college. So yeah, it was fun times, But and now you guys are moved on. You're married and
Mhm.
an adult.
Somewhat.
Adulting.
Somewhat adultish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't want to be adults. There was a great program, All in the Family, Archie Bunker thing.
Yeah.
Edith was going through this change of life.
Mhm.
And she was sitting in a chair crying. And Gloria, the daughter, comes and sits in Dad's chair, which is next to her, and said, Ma, what's wrong? And through her sobs, Edith said, when I was a little girl, I didn't know what little girls were supposed to know. And now I'm an old lady. I don't know what old ladies are supposed to know. I don't know what old men are supposed to know.
Uh-huh.
I'm an old man. Mike, I am an old man.
You're supposed to know all about computers and phones and the
And
newest
just-
electronics.
Exactly. I can fix things too. I can, repair it. Mhm.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In my day, even though I'm a little, I used to be able to put my arms around the refrigerator and pick it up and move it. Now all I can do is open the door.
That's really all you need to do, though. Is
Well, what were you practicing on moving the refrigerators? Were you trying
You
to
had
bench
to
them?
clean it or something behind it. We didn't have the nice rollers. You had to kind of jockey it over.
Oh, I thought you were trying to be the Incredible Hulk.
No, now they have rollers. that you slide them out and clean.
what are you doing cleaning behind the fridge?
Oh, there's all kinds of neat stuff in there. When you pull your
You're
fridge
supposed
out,
to save that for the next homeowner.
pull your refrigerator out and say, "Oh my God, I've been living with all that stuff."
Collects. That's one of the idiosyncrasies that I have, and my wife hates it. It's like now and again I move stuff, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Dust collects. You got to get rid of it. You can't leave that. You got
We're not gonna
the
see any dust.
dust monsters coming
It's
out.
all hidden in underneath.
At least once a year, you got to at least move some furniture around.
Oh,
and see what
he's
you
a
find.
joy. He's a joy in his house.
Well-
Maybe she'll go shopping while you do this
Well, the good thing is we got a new house, so everything's new. So hopefully we won't have to move anything
That's
for a little
right.
bit.
for a year.
Everything for at least for a year. Everything's brand new and it's clean. So
Make sure though, if there's a refrigerator, pull it out and look at it. Oh, you're
No.
building now, so you're putting brand new stuff in.
yeah, so fridge is not in yet. Actually, the builder says you can have the microwave, the range, and the dishwasher. The fridge, and the washer and dryer, and the rest of the stuff, that's on you. Apparently, you don't need that stuff.
Or here's this beautiful chandelier, which is a little bulb hanging without a cover on it. That comes with the house. Now, if you want a nice one, you have to buy one.
Yeah, that's on you. That's on
What
you.
is that thing? Oh, that's what comes with the house, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Crazy. We did. We went by it again. At 20 after, we stop and take a break for a little commercial. And we already passed it again.
Uh-oh.
Darn. Okay, Mike, why don't we do a commercial?
WSTU, we go back to the forum with your host, Pat Sacco.
Thank you. And we're here with Roberto
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt Gutierrez.
Yeah.
Roosevelt.
I can be a Roberto.
R. Gutierrez. Who is a capo di capo of Banker's Life. You're a boss. You're a leader. You're a director.
Yeah, manager, an influencer, a leader, if you will. Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have a nice sized team that reports to me that we influence the communities and help out in many ways in the senior market. Again, with retirement planning, home health care planning.
Let's talk about some of that stuff.
Yep.
How do you do retirement planning?
Well, it starts with step one, right? It's
Step
kind of getting your ducks in a row, depending on what stage of life you're in, whether you're starting, you're 20 years old, 30 years old, or if you're getting towards the end of it, finishing up a 30-year, 40-year career. Depends on which stage you're in. Majority of what I do is after the career. So moving from what I call the build stage of life to the keep stage of life. You worked all your life to build an accumulation of wealth and assets. And now it's kind of to figure out how do you preserve those assets and distribute them in a way that you don't outlive those assets. That's the biggest worries nowadays on seniors is, will my healthcare expenses be too much for me to
Right.
take care of?
Right.
Will I need care later on as I get older? We partner with a lot of things like the Alzheimer's Association.
Yeah, are we going to get nursing home care insurance?
Yeah, are we going to need nursing
yeah,
home care? Are we
right.
going to need care at home? How does that going to do? Is my Medicare going to cover this? Are my prescription medications covered by that?
And what do I need to do to get on Medicaid if things go that route?
Yeah, if everything goes south, hell in a handbasket, if you will.
Exactly.
How
What
do
do I do?
Yeah, what do I do with the spend down plan here in the state of Florida? How does all that work? So depending on everybody's situation, what I do is take an in-depth look individually and do a needs analysis, find out what's going on with in their life, what's important, and kind of the things that I ask them is like, what's your dreams, your goals, and your fears?
Mhm.
What's going on? How do you want to do this?
Mike, would you continue? I have to take a little.
Okay.
Psych.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm on a medication.
No worries. Like you mentioned, you said you're a senior, but you're a young guy at heart, right?
Absolutely. Oh,
Only as old as you want to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be sick again.
I hear you.
So what brings you up to the Treasure Coast here, to Port St. Lucie?
So one of the biggest thing is just kind of getting over the congestion down in Broward County.
Ugh, yeah.
Want to get out of that. And the opportunity came about with this job. My boss was like, we need to open up another office. Our current office in West Palm Beach has over 50 agents, and we've gotten too big for the space.
Mhm.
And the only way we can grow is by adding a new location.
So you're kind of expanding up
Yeah.
here in that sense?
Yeah, we're expanding. I mean, the company as a whole for Bankers Life, we're in the whole entire United States except for Alaska.
Mhm.
So over 300 locations, about 5,000 agents nationwide. But they don't hear about us because we don't do a lot of advertising like traditional companies.
Right.
A lot of what we do is we believe in, getting whatever premiums we get for any policies that we do and paying back those claims to those clients, those customers that need those help.
And potential customers out there,
Mhm.
how can people find out information about you, your company, your services?
I mean, just like everybody else, we all got a website. So you can go on Facebook, you can go online, look us up at bankerslife.com. In particular, if you want to look specifically for our area, you would look for our location. Currently, right now, is in West Palm. Where as soon as we got the Port St. Lucie office up and running, hopefully by this summer, you'll have another subsidiary website there to connect, and has our names and contacts to our agents and our management team and our staff.
And is it a situation where there is a lot of face-to-face interaction coming into the office a lot, or is a lot of this handled over the phone and through the internet?
Now, we're old school. We like to have conversations one-on-one.
Okay.
There's situations where folks like to come into our office and sit down and meet in the conference room and go over everything. We'll actually go to businesses and meet at their businesses if they have businesses, or we'll come to your home. Come to your home, sit across the kitchen table,
Very
and
nice.
do it the old way. Where I'm sitting and saying, okay, what are your concerns, Mr. Jones? What is your concern, Mrs. Jones? And kind of go through it. And if we can help, great. If we can't help, the biggest thing, and that's why I love working with what I do, is if I can't put you in a better position than where I found you, I'm going to leave you alone. I don't want to, I'm not that person that's going to come in. And that's what I train my agents. Don't be that person that comes in is worried about making money for yourself. And just because you're trying to make a buck, now you recommended something for Mrs. Jones and it puts them in a worse position. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, making sure integrity's at the forefront of everything we do.
Yeah. It might be great for the short term, but long term, it's not going to work out well at all.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it all too well, you know, the Bernie Madoffs of the world and so on and so forth. Yeah. You'll get some money. You'll make some stuff, but eventually it's what's done in the darkness comes to the light.
There it is.
Well, I got a confusing letter yesterday.
Yeah.
My retirement program is through TAA CRF,
Okay.
Teachers Annuity, College Retirement Equities Fund, whatever it is. And I've been drawing from that from a number of years.
Yeah.
With my quotes retirement. And the letter said you have to take money out. Now, I've never been told that.
So at a certain point, depending on what kind of accounts you have, and most of them are what they call tax deferred accounts,
right?
Like 401ks, 403bs, TSAs, which is tax shelter annuities as well. All the alphabet soup of retirement. After you reach a certain age, the government pretty much says, hey, you have to take this money because you haven't paid any taxes on it. And usually the landmark is 70.5. So if you haven't been doing that, then you probably potentially could be behind the 8 ball.
I've never received any information from them except for that letter yesterday.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Normally, upon you, once you get
70.5, yes,
70.5 closer, they start notifying you, say, hey, the IRS says you have to take money. You haven't paid tax. Uncle Sam wants a piece of that pie, you know? So if you haven't, that's where you kind of got to call them and see, because what they do is they start about almost a let's say 3.65% of whatever your account value is that you have to start taking at 70.5, and they start ratcheting it up every single year. So as you get older,
so if
now it's 4, 5, 6%.
I've got to go.
Now you could potentially be taking 6, 7, 8% out of it to.
And how much is the government going to take from that?
Depending on your income. So if your income becomes higher, guess what? Now they're going to go ahead
and take half of it.
They're going to take some taxes or what, you know, like anything else. You know, if they give you $1 and they say your tax is 40%, now 40 cents is going to Uncle Sam, and it's not our favorite uncle, unfortunately.
Well,
at least it's not mine, anyways.
I'm going to call them today.
Yeah, I would recommend. Yeah, give them a call and find
ask
out.
them why I haven't been notified up to this point.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's
maybe
strange.
they'll say it was your responsibility, but why are they sending me a letter now?
They should have proof and.
They said I have to do it by December 2019.
Okay, so before this.
In other words, so they caught up with me, I guess.
Yeah.
Saying you got to take a chunk of money. I'll just take some money and put it in the bank.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Or in the sack.
You put it in the sack. There you go. Yeah, put it under the mattress, right? No, I mean, yeah, they make you take the money, and then for some people, they don't really even need to take that money, but they have to, because Uncle Sam wants you to pay those taxes. And obviously, there's always ways, if you don't need to take that money, to plan later on. Let's say you want to leave money to the kids or the grandkids, the loved ones, leave them better off than where you started. You can do that kind of stuff with proper planning, and that's what I do. What I like to do is kind of look at what I call the smart money order, right? There's 4 kinds of money. You got the smartest kind of money, which is free money, right? Free money. You found it on the floor. You won the lotto. Best money ever.
Right.
Right. Second, smartest money there is tax deferred second money, smartest money would be, tax-free money. That stuff is like life insurance, some bonds that are out there that you don't have to pay any taxes on.
Right.
Okay. Then the a little bit dumber money, if you will, is what they call tax deferred. You don't pay the taxes now while you're working and so on and so forth. But then when you start drawing on it, now you got to pay those taxes. And that's what majority of people have.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. You have to have money in every category. Obviously, you prefer to have more money in the tax-free or the free.
Maybe I'll buy silver or gold.
Depending on what you want to do, right? And then you got the dumbest money, which is the taxable. And that's your checking accounts, your everyday stuff to pay your expenses that you have to have. But you want to have something in everything, right?
It's a big shock when you're a teenager and you get a job and you get your first paycheck.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
And you're getting $12 an hour, that 40 hours. This 8, how much?
So that's what they're getting now? I remember getting $4 an hour.
Sit down. Let's say you got $4 an hour and 40, it's $160. but you're not getting $160. You're getting about 120 some.
After
And
taxes.
the kids go, "What happened? What's this money? That's not.
Mhm.
That's my money." No, sorry, that's for the privilege of getting that check.
FICA says
pay
I
a-
need your money,
You
right?
pay a ransom.
Yeah.
This is for Social Security. I'm not. Well, you're paying for somebody else's. Well, why do I have to pay for somebody else's? Because when you get to be an old person, somebody's going to pay for you. Oh, well, I don't like that. I want my money now.
So you want to take care of my own stuff, right? I want my money now.
So that's a little culture shock. It isn't what you earn; it's what you end up with in your hand.
Yeah, that's the
You know.
biggest thing. I mean, my wife's a school teacher. She teaches first grade right now, and I tell her, as much as you can put away, they allow you put it away.
Right.
It's gonna work. And if you don't see it, you don't feel it. So when they're taking it pre-tax and so on and so forth, it's great. But
Because then it works on your income tax
Yeah.
also when you fill out your tax.
correct.
You get that reduced. My wife was she's an audiologist,
Mhm.
does hearing testing. And for years, she was working for companies that did not have a retirement plan.
Yeah.
But then she got into one about 15 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, that now she could start it. Well, we did Max for like 10 years to give her something.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have anything.
Mhm.
And then she's built up a decent little portfolio. In fact, the agent came to our house
Mhm.
and explained everything, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Rather than that, because they're up in Vero,
Mhm.
rather than us having the truck up to Vero, they came to the house.
It's I believe in an old saying that says, if you're important, people come to you. If you're not important, you come to them.
Very good. We're going to remember that.
Right?
That means I got to go to everybody.
I got to go to everybody. I mean, I got about 400 clients, and if they want to see me, they see me. If they don't want to see me, that's okay. But I always do the little things, like I send I send birthday cards. I'll send a text, "Happy birthday," or even now what's popular now, the Bitmojis,
Right.
and I get my little face in there. Hey, happy birthday, and they're like, "You remembered?" I was like, "Not even my kid remembers." I'm like, "Well, you're important."
That's
So-
right. And that's how you tell when people are important to you or not.
Yep.
We bought a house 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an agent that sold a home and we bought a townhouse. She handled both.
Okay.
I still get a calendar
Nice.
every year from them.
Yeah.
And Karen sends the calendars out. And it jogs my memory, thank you, Karen. And she seems fit to do that. Now, we may never move again,
Yeah.
but I think there's an average of like 6 or 7 moves that a person makes in their lifetime.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I
And
think
if
that's
you
what-
link up with one realtor from the beginning, you've got 6 sales.
pretty much, and it's a relationship. I mean, if you're cultivate and build that relationship, that's where it all starts. Especially if you're dealing with people.
I was a realtor up north, but the
Mhm.
reason was I was in a small town. We were going to sell a place and buy a place, and there was a real scuzzy agent.
Oh no.
It was doing all kinds of bad stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what really he was supposed to do. So the college offered that course in real estate. And I
Yeah.
took it because I wanted to find out when we sold, what
Mhm.
were things. Well, I was doing really well in the course. And the instructor said to me, "You got to sell." I
Mhm.
said, "I don't want to do that." He said, "Well, find a little mom and pop outfit that'll hold your license. Then you could do whatever you want to do." So I did. And I only worked with friends that I knew who were buying homes. I didn't take listings. I didn't do anything else, but I helped my friends.
Yeah.
And it was a great thing because I learned so much in their real estate course. All the bad things this guy was doing, he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
if you don't have integrity, I mean, what do you have? I mean, that's an old thing that I take from the previous generation. Back in the day, you could shake hands on something, and your word is your bond, right?
Well, if I helped a friend and they bought a house a year from that purchase, I sent a dozen roses
Nice.
saying thank you. This is your money.
Yeah.
But it was like a little reminder.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were to sell the house again, who are they going to call?
Calling you.
Not bad for like a $40 investment.
No, definitely. You got to stay on
You
top
know,
of
send a little card.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Send them something nice. It's going to be worth thousands of dollars to you to send some flowers.
Definitely.
Because they're going to be at least 2 or 3 homes down the line.
Yeah.
And then we either scale up or we scale down depending on the size of your family when the kids go away. I love it when somebody's like 64 years old and the kids are gone and everything. Then they buy a brand new house.
hmm
with a mortgage, a 30-year mortgage.
Start over again, right?
I think so.
It happens though. I mean, especially here in South Florida. Most people are moving from, somewhere else, up north, northeast, Midwest, and they got to, some of them are fortunate enough that they're in areas where real estate values on their houses in the millions, and they can sell a house and then buy a house down here in the 100,000s. And
It took us
it's good.
9 months to sell our house up north.
9 months.
9 months.
Which time frame was that? Around what time?
Oh, that was back in the late 80s.
Okay, yeah. So the different things were going on. I mean, back
But
then.
we got a 13% mortgage, and I was excited about that.
Yeah, right.
13%.
Because you can go to the bank next door and then get a CD for about 17%.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, when I took all my retirement money, I had 50-50 with stocks and bonds.
Mhm.
When I left, they said, take your stock money and put it in bonds because you won't be putting more money in each year, which I did. And there was 7 or 8 years of glorious interest on bonds.
Yeah, because
So
bonds were high then. Yeah.
It built it quite well.
Yeah.
It was like kind of a lucky streak.
Yeah.
You can't do that today because the bonds are not up there.
No, it's a different relationship nowadays. So you got to kind of be mindful. I mean, nowadays we're in a world economy, where basically if China throws a stone, we feel it, and vice versa, because we're all interconnected one way or the other. I mean, you look at Brexit right now. That whole exit out of the EU. They thought it was just going to be just them and that's it. But no, it impacts everybody because you got importation, exportation.
union.
Yeah, it affects everybody. And now they're having issues where, looking at free trade, they don't have to have borders for anything. And because they're exiting, now they have to set borders. And what does that cause? A time delay of processing goods in and out.
But does it make sense for you to charge 25% of what you import and we charge 25%? And if we just say, let's not charge? Isn't the same thing?
No, not really. It does. The numbers don't add up. It's kind of one of those old myths that you if you're looking at the market and you said I have $100 in the market, right? And the market took a 40% dive, right? Now you're down to what, $60? Well, your advisor tells you, you know what? We're back up 40%, so you're back to square one. Well, no, you're at $60, 40% of $60,
$24.
you're up, about $24. So you're back to about $84.
You're still losing.
You're still losing. In order for you to get back, you got to do more.
Right.
So it's one of those little fibs, white lies that get told, and we believe them. And
People need to know that kind of stuff.
No, they need to know. I'm like, no, that doesn't work. Math is math. There's no one. I mean, you can speak many languages, and I'm fortunate to be able to speak English and Spanish, a little bit of French, and some other languages. But math is math.
Math is math.
Listen,
you have to connect with more people. You're wasting your time working with agents. You got to be right in there with the people.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do is connect with as many people. And I mean, the way I can do that is by building a bigger agent force and having more people. So I have more quality people like I would like to think I'm a quality person like myself. We can impact communities. And
what would you be looking for in an employee?
Somebody that's driven, somebody that's integral. Definitely. And that's looking for a career change that are tired of a job where, I clock in, clock out, but I'm not making a difference. If you want something different and you want to work with people, you got to like people. If you don't like people, please don't see me.
I know some leaders I could steer your way.
Yeah. Great.
Good, solid people who are in jobs right now. They're good jobs, but it's not exciting, and it's this routine kind of thing.
Yeah. And
sometimes people need more than that.
Yeah, no, you did. I mean, you needed a little bit of an adventure, frankly. I mean,
you got the right word.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the financial industry 17 years. About 12 years was that in the banking world, moving from one job to the next. Because, the only way I can get a pay raise is by moving the job, either from a bank, from one bank to the other, or a position. Here, I don't have to do that. I can go ahead and increase my worth by increasing my value, my skill set. The more valuable I am to you, the better I am off.
Right.
And I was talking to you a little bit earlier when we were on break. The biggest thing that I follow is, take care of your client. You take care of your client will take care of you. Simple as that. Do right by them.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
And be honest with them. You know, oh, I forgot to tell you. What do you forget to tell me?
Yeah.
What you forget to tell me? Oh, there's a cost to this?
Yeah, and don't get a oh by the way. Always be upfront with people.
What do you mean, Bill? What
Yeah.
are you talking about, a bill?
Yeah, always be upfront. I always tell people as well as I promise you two things. I won't waste your time, and I'll definitely bring you some value. If I don't do any of those, kick me the heck out.
How can people get in touch with you?
Easy. I mean, you can either connect with us on Facebook through our Facebook. We have bankerslife.com. You can go ahead and connect directly with me. My direct line is 561-494-7347.
Again, slower.
So 561-494-7347. That's my direct line. If I can't get with you, leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Very good. Very good.
And then as we kind of progress and grow, we'll have other avenues of connecting and so on and so forth. So,
and you're still looking for more employees?
I want to grow. My current office in
nice.
West Palm has 50 agents. I want to grow this office as big as it can get. The more people we have, the more lives we can impact. So that's my biggest deal, is trying to get more agents on board. And that way we can impact more in the communities.
Plus, we're not getting someone from a foreign land who's going to come and usurp all of our good people. You're moving up here.
Yeah, I'll be a local.
You're going to be a local,
Yep.
bringing not only the business, but the family and everything here.
Yep.
And you made the right choice, I think, for the
Yeah.
treasure.
I love the community. I've everything that I've seen so far. Great area to
Good
be
people,
Good people.
even
Correct.
technicians.
Even technicians.
in.
How dare you?
Well, Roosevelt, this has been a great conversation. Thank you. I'm very impressed. I've learned a lot about banking.
Well, Bankers Life Insurance. Yeah.
Yeah. all right.
Yeah. I know every time I see bankers, they think
Bankers Life.
banking. Yeah.
Why did they call it Banker's Life?
As actually was the name of one of the founders.
Oh,
Bankers.
Bankers.
Was the name.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
then Bankers Life, because majority of they say is life insurance and that kind of stuff.
Well, listen, thank you very much for being here today. We'll bring you back again and talk about the growth.
Yeah.
And we'll get another person next week on The Forum.